Y'all know I'm on my Saturday morning road trip. What y'all want to talk about today? What y'all want to shoot on today? What y'all want to talk about? Give me something to talk about. It's your boy Pastor Rags. Y'all hit that subscribe, hit that like. Y'all, we at 904 subscribers. Get us to that 1,000. Get us to 1,000 today. VC, all you people that's been doing the testimony Tuesdays with Lady T, us to the 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we got that raffle.
Y'all be wanting to be a blessing, wanting a blessing. Well, be a blessing. Be a blessing. And you'll see your blessings that come in overflowing.
Good morning, Possum. How you feeling today, girl? Possum be on it.
But yeah, we got some y'all know, well, y'all don't know, but I'm an introvert. I don't let people in my square. But
thank you, Possum.
I'll tell y'all probably done heard, if y'all went down the channel, as I be transparent and I talk about things that I did wrong and things that I did right. I talked about my first son I had out of marriage. And a lot of people say, well, that's the reason why you got divorced, because you had that son out of the marriage. You cheated on your wife. But actually, we had already cheated in our spirit. When we stopped being obedient to God. When I couldn't go in the house and say the same things that I was saying in the beginning, I continued to say because it was working. But she stopped listening. That's when it was over. Because if she was still listening, this boy's mother never would have had time. I wouldn't have had a conversation for her. Let me help somebody, because people think this is a one-sided thing. But I'm going to hold women accountable. The same thing you do to pull that man, the same thing you better keep doing to keep him. I'm not desperate to this day. God didn't build me like that. I'm built off of desperation. I was built from admiration. My mom and daddy was married when I was conceived. I wasn't built tolerated. I was built to be celebrated. But to make a long story short, you know how they say, y'all, that illegitimate child or that child out of marriage usually be the one that be closest to you? Well, it's true. Most of the time, unfortunately, y'all, that one that they call illegitimate, which I say that's the blessed child, because a lot of people say Christ was illegitimate. Because Mary didn't have Joseph, or Joseph didn't have Mary. So, we got my daughter-in-law, Terry. Y'all hear it? Daughter-in-law, Terry, and my boy, Michael, on the road trip with us today. Back there.
Your big head out.
And let me tell y'all something. I don't fool with grown people. But I do give advice and information. Both of them are in school. And they have their marriage license. They're about to do it God's way. I can deal with you when you're doing it God's way.
Thank you, Possum.
When you're doing it God's way. But back to what I was saying, you know, we've been talking to them about just how marriage and stuff like that, because there's a lot of people that don't believe in marriage now, but we put a lot of blame on God when we need to take the blame ourselves. God honors marriage, and marriage is honored by God. It's constituted. It's the first ministry implemented to man by God was marriage, not the church. For all you smart people, get your Bible. He brought man and woman together, told them to leave their mom and daddy house and cleave to one another before he even came out with the church. So it's a ministry. That's why so many of us are divorced, because people don't get educated and understand that they're in a ministry when you're in a marriage. And it's more important to be married in the spirit than it is for that piece of paper. That piece of paper is for the law, for man, to satisfy the laws of the land. But if you ain't married in the spirit, you on your way to divorce court. You better get yourself spiritually together. I told y'all early in the week that God is doing a recall. Y'all, God is doing a recall. He is recalling his people back to him. Y'all, we've stunk up a lot of things. And you know what? We praise the devil. Somebody can call us, tell us anything for failure, we fall for it. For real. Don't bring me your trash. Don't bring me your problems. I've had enough. I've made enough mistakes where I don't need to hear about nobody else's problems while I'm trying to produce positivity. And the thing about us is we actually fell for the devil's wiles because we make decisions and do things and say, oh, this is supposed to work. God ain't nowhere in it. Oh, you don't supposed to treat me like that. You supposed to treat me well. Hold up, we shacking. We boyfriend and girlfriend. Who does that? Who's your God? Oh, girl, he did this. Oh, man, she cheating on me. Dude, that ain't even your wife. You thought you was going to have a girlfriend, and you thought it was going to be faithful. Now you're saying the devil is good? Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't work like that. Don't work like that. Life does not work like that. And our problem is we fell for that Steve Harvey book. He made a movie, Think Like a Man and Act Like a Woman, or what? Something like that. I don't know what that book. Somebody help me out in the comments with that. Think like a man, act like a woman, or something. But sisters, y'all ain't acting like a man. If you run around talking about clock that T and got a smart mouth, that ain't what men do. That's what punks do. That's what mama's boys do. That's what little sissies do. Y'all emulating the sissies. That's why it's a lot of women running around fighting. A lot of women running off on their kids. There's a lot of women out there drugs in the streets, just like the little mama boy punks are. Because that's who they follow. They ain't following no man. Because if you was following a man, you know how to shut your mouth. If you was following a man, you follow peace with all men. Because I'm a man. So I'm trying to follow peace with all men. And if you too old to learn, you already through. You dead. I learn every day. Every day I wake up and thank God I'm learning something. And make it so bad, I can learn from other people's errors. God has shown me the error of my ways by seeing somebody else do it. And I say, whoa, that is horrible. And he'll say, that's you. Don't do that. So see, when I'm speaking one-on-one with a person, I practice bringing my volume down. I try my best not to raise my voice at people because that is the rudest thing man, woman, or whoever can do to somebody. You don't do that to nobody because you don't want it done to you. So you just don't do it. So I work on that every day. And it's hard because I'm a very animated person, y'all. I get energized and get animated when I'm talking, especially when I'm talking about God and the goodness of God.
We're from Texas. Where y'all from?
Who is it?
I don't know. Possum, who is that? I don't know who that is. You are against what? Marriage?
Whoever said they're against marriage, they for the devil. Marriage ain't never harmed nobody. If your mama had a bad experience, that was your mama's fault. If your daddy had a bad experience, I'm so tired of people taking the blessings from the blesser and making it theirs. Like they created man. Like they created the sex organs. They ain't created nothing. They'll take all the blessings from God and, don't give God no credit. You got to say you did that. I did that. I raised you. And it's easier to get what is that scripture, Michael? About a pen.
A pen to get the camels out, the rich man to make an example.
Thank you, yeah.
Did y'all hear what he said?
You ain't gonna make it in with that Everybody against man. You know, we so twisted and perverted. That's why God is doing this recall. Because we're so twisted and perverted that the majority of our young boys don't like being a man because they've heard nothing but negativity about man. How you gonna not like a man when you ain't never been around a man? A God-fearing man. A straight man. A man that said, let his words be yay, yay, and nay, nay. All you been around is that dude that slapped your mama around. Or fussed and went back and forth with your mama. That was a boy. And that same boy that's fighting on your mama, sister, you'd have saw that if you'd have seen the way he fussed with his mama. See, you know what? The Bible teaches us to raise your child up in the way they should go. And when they're old, they won't depart from it. Y'all, I'm a living witness of that. All I have to do is go back to from which I came. If I don't have the answer, go back to from which I came. I didn't see my daddy and mama going tooth and nail and challenging each other like they both had dinglings and they seeing who got the biggest one. But they was together till death did them part, and they was homeowners. They raised all 4 children. All 4 children are productive. All 4 children are not in trouble with the law. All 4 children is by my daddy. No outside nothing. You can't tell me obedience is don't work. Obedience is better than sacrifice. My daddy had to sacrifice his feelings to be obedient. So sometimes when you get up and go, I just don't feel, sacrifice your feelings to be obedient. Feelings are factual, they change too much. said this earlier in the week. I got homeboys that went to the penitentiary for unaliving people. And they, oh, he bad, he tough. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. He was double-minded. Because when the police came and got him, his temper went away. When Massa came in there and said, put your hands up, put your gun down, he put his gun down. I'm like, hold up. You just unalived this dude. Shot him in the head because he called your mama out of her name. And you don't even know her mama, his mama. And a lot of times he was right about the dude's mama. Let me shut up. But anyway, now he in prison for the rest of his life. All over his feelings. My mama used to tell us it ain't what you what they call you, is what you answer to. So everybody ain't gonna treat you right. But when you mature, you'll say, okay, this ain't right, but would I want someone to do this? No. So I'm not gonna return that favor. I'm not gonna tell no young man, say, man, you need to cheat on your wife. No, I'm not gonna tell him that. I'm telling him, man, you better be obedient to God. Because everybody that's around you, they ain't gonna pay your bills. Anybody and everybody around you ain't gonna do no time for you. You gonna do that time by yourself. And you think she cheating now, wait until you get locked up. Both of y'all gonna be cheating because you gonna be bent over. But our boys, man, I'm talking to our young men. It is not a sin to be a man. Women, stop telling your son to take the bass out of his voice. What you want him to do? Turn the treble up? That's why he can't find himself. Because the mannish behavior, you drowned it out. And then when it gets soft, you're a man. You supposed to do this. Well, you just told him to take the bass out of his voice. He don't know what to do. He confused. He just want to please mama. But if mama confused, everything come out of her stock gonna be confused. Boy, let me tell you something. My daddy didn't care. He didn't care whether, I remember I looked at him one time, he said, I don't care if you don't like me. I wasn't called for you to like me. I was called to parent you and show you the right way to go. These parents said, no, I don't want to do that because they might not talk to me. No, lose my number. Who cares? I wasn't, look, all you parents setting up, they're going to always be my baby. Why they setting up having premarital sex? Why they setting up drugging and drinking? And you told them not to do none of that. They was your baby then. So is that the truth or is that your own fairy tale? Life is not a fairy tale.
Well, thank you for the subscription, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas.
Hey, Miss, that's, what is all of that? You about to get timed out because you're doing too much. Possum. Yeah, we thank you for the subscription, but don't get on here playing games, okay?
Yeah.
You're
Play with
like
your mama.
A kid. That's childish stuff.
Yeah, play with your mama. I talked about that this week too. These internet gangsters.
Yeah.
Most of these internet gangsters are dorks. They punks. They get bullied in school. They get bullied in life. They get bullied, and then the internet has given people such an avenue because you could be whoever you want to be on this internet. So you just go troll and mess with people, but say, I believe in living the real life. This is real out here. I watch everybody on YouTube, the street sector,
Yeah, time him out, Possum.
I watch all that. My boy Marcus. Marcus.
Somebody in the bushes. We see y'all on
You
here.
can you can contact me and talk anytime you want to. No judgment zone. I may not agree with everything you doing, but ain't nothing but love, bruh. You too, Ghost. You too, Ghost. I don't agree with everything you say. You ain't gonna agree with me, but you a black man. I'm a black man. We can't expect our young black brothers to come together if the seasoned brothers don't know how to get along and come together.
Right.
So I don't have pride. If y'all need to talk, need encouragement, say, give me a call. VC.
Give him the number, VC.
VC, give him the number. VC, you call me. You brothers need to talk. This is Mental Awareness Month, the month of May. There's so many brothers out there messed up and hurting on the inside. They ain't got nobody to talk to. And then what they doing is beating the mother bloop, bloop, bloop out of their old ladies.
Yeah.
And what's so sad, our sisters confused, they take that as love.
Gabby, that's not love.
That's not love. But if you've been introduced to lust and it was dressed up in the character of love, see, when the enemy comes to you, he don't come as that Beelzebub. He don't come to you as that vagabond. He don't come to you as the father of the bottomless pit. He don't come to you as the father of sins. He come for you with that sexy name, Lucifer.
Tell him that story, baby.
He come to you sexy.
Tell him the story.
Huh?
The elevator story.
Yeah, okay. Here's a little story for y'all. This lady, she died. So she went, after that, she went down to this tunnel. And there was this man sitting at an elevator door. And he said, welcome. He said, well, I'm going to give you a tour. And at the end of the tour, you make your choice of where you want to go. So he said, let's get on the elevator. One arrow was going down, one arrow was going up. So he said, which one you want to do first? She said, take me down. So they hit the down button. And right before he opened the door, she could hear the bass music going. The doors open, disco lights was going. They was in there partying. I mean, they was in there kicking it. They was in there doing the bollywop and the electric slide. And they were doing it. They was dancing and partying. Everybody had on, some people had on their ballroom dresses. It was a big old extravaganza down there. So she looked back and said, can I stay? He said, I'll give you a little moment here. So he closed the door. She went on in.
Okay, Possum.
She went to the bar and she got her a drink. So she's sitting there listening to the music, popping her fingers and watching all the beautiful people dancing and partying and stuff. She was just having a ball, y'all. She was just kicking it. So after about 10 minutes down there, this handsome Billy D. Denzel Washington, caramel complected, pretty hair, Negro walked up to her and said, hey baby, how you doing? She said, how you doing? I'm good. He said, what you drinking? She told him. He bought her a drink. He said, you want to dance? They start dancing and they start talking. And he asked her name. She told him. And she said, what's your name? They call me L. Well, what the L mean? Just call me Lucifer, baby. And he was so smooth in his eyes, y'all. He just mesmerized her with his eyes. He had a green-gray color eye. The eyes was just, he was, you know, had the six-pack. I mean, the dude was built great. Nice suit, gators on his feet. He was and he was saying everything real smooth. He didn't talk scratchy like me. He had a smooth smooth voice. And he had her. So the dude came back to the elevator door, opened the door, and said, hey, we gotta go. And she said, oh, I gotta leave. He said, she told the dude, she said, say L, stay right here, I'll be back. He said, all right, baby, I'll be waiting on you right here. She said, okay. So she said, well, do we have to? He said, yeah, I got to take you to both places, sister. So they got on the elevator, pressed the up button. Well, when they went up, they heard feet stomping, hands clapping, tambourines playing. Soon as they opened the door, I heard a vow to the Lord and I want tambourine. They in there churching. The girl say, oh no, this is my big mama church.
Yeah, Apostle, that was Lucifer.
I was raised in this. I'm so, ooh. He say, just give it a minute. She said, I ain't even got to give it a minute. I know what they do. Don't you know all these church folk is fake and this and that and this and that? And they up in here praising and having them just as nasty and this, that. You know, I had lived with my grandmama because my mama was messing with, and my mama boyfriend touched me. You know, she started talking about her life. And she said, I'm just tired of church. So he let us stand there for a minute. He said, okay, we got to get back on the elevator. It's choice time. So they went back to the level ground, to the middle. He said, now, your next choice is your last choice. It's your eternity. So make sure, as you make this decision, you sure. Make sure you got a ready made up mind when you tell me which button to push. So she said, I told you, and I'm going down. He said, okay, darling.
Hey, Miss Ruby.
He stepped off the elevator, y'all, and she pressed down. Well, as the elevator was going down, all of a sudden she started hearing screams, started hearing gnashing of teeth, a bunch of growling, a bunch of agony, a bunch of just noises and different animals and different growls and stuff. And it got real hot and steamy. She couldn't even touch the door. It got hot in there. And when the doorbell dinged and opened up, guess who was standing there? Lucifer. He say, hey, and this time his eyes was bloody red. He had horns coming out, and them pretty hands that he was touching her with was thorns and knives coming out. And he said, hey, I'm Lucifer, I'm the devil, and welcome to hell. The devil give us enough truth to make us fall for his lie.
Baby, that's Miss Ruby. That's the one I met yesterday. She on there.
Hey, Miss Ruby, God bless you. Y'all probably done already heard that story, but some of the young
Pastor said that's crazy.
Some of the young people ain't heard that story, so I just share it.
I love that story, Pastor. He told me that story years ago. I was like, what in the world? Tell him the other story.
I don't know the other story.
The one about the girl.
But y'all know, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all this story because I'm very hard on. I don't care. I lost my mother at a young age, so I got a problem with people that don't love their parents. I don't respect them. It's a story I heard as a young boy called The Denied Mother.
Yeah, that one.
And this woman, she sent her daughter off to college. And they was getting ready for the summer break. And she went to the train station to see her daughter, to pick up her daughter. So her daughter was on the train with all her friends. So when all the students got off the train, they was running up to their family and hugging them and stuff. Well, this specific young lady that my story is pertaining to, she walked right past her mother like her mother wasn't even there. And her mother was like, so good, so happy to see her. She was reaching for and her daughter just walked away from her. She walked to the car, but she just had her bags and ignored her mama and walked real fast like her mama wasn't even with her. So when her mama got to the car, the daughter was already sitting in there in the car waiting on her. So the daughter said, the mother asked the daughter, I want to know why you didn't greet me with a hug and a kiss like all the other children did their parents. And her daughter just looked straight ahead and didn't say nothing.
No, that ain't me.
So the daughter said, the mother said, oh, I know why. You ashamed of the way I look. She said, daughter, I ain't never told you how I became this way. You ashamed of me, but I never told you how I became this way. She said, well, it was about 17 years ago. And I was out in the backyard hanging out my laundry. And I was back and my house was on fire. All of my neighbors grabbed me and said, you can't go back in that house. But daughter, all I could think about was that my daughter, my baby, was in that house. She said, I broke away from them people and I ran back into that burning house and I grabbed you and wrapped you up and I put these old burnt up, scrawled up hands over your pretty little face and I brought you out to safety that day. And here I stand 17 years later and you have the nerve to tell me that you're ashamed that I'm your mother. We don't appreciate the sacrifices and the life that our parents give up to protect us. Her face all burned up. She only got one ear.
Time of my pop.
Hands all drawn up. And you have the nerve to tell me that you're ashamed that I'm your mother. The lady told her that's all right. By then the daughter was crying. The mama was crying. She said, daughter, that's all right. The mother told her, I know a man that when I get over there, I have a new face. I have new hands. I have a new body. It won't be like this. And the mama just cried and started singing, Precious Lord, take my hand. But y'all, we don't appreciate, we need to respect our parents, not just on Mother's Day, not just on Father's Day, but every day.
Right.
And you young people, y'all think y'all could disrespect your parents and get away? Say, man, when you have yours gonna give you a triple dose of that disrespect. For real. All the mistakes they made, I'm gonna be mad at them because they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Man, you gonna find yourself, you can't do nothing. You can't buy your child a good syrup sandwich.
Right.
And you complaining about eating bologna.
For real.
Want to go to McDonald's. You want $200 shoes with a $3 report card.
Thank you, Pastor.
You trying to keep up with the Joneses when the McGee's got you bound.
Who are the McGee's, baby?
I just said it. That broke family, uneducated, all in the hood, ain't gonna do nothing. The Junior Flip family, I call it. But say, respect your parents, man. Respect your parents. And y'all, marriage is honored by God. I love to see marriages, not just marriage, but you say you can be happy and married. You can be full of joy and married. You can be a freak and married. That's where you're supposed to be a freak. Young ladies, you need to be that nurse, the nasty nurse, the nasty doctor. Men, you need to be the doctor. You need to be your wife's freak. Everything right there goes. The marital bed is honored by God. It's amazing that when you're in sin, everything is good. And then when you're married, every excuse not to be good. And we really think we serve God. But we're actually serving the devil. That's why he said, I hear the prayers of the righteous, but I'm far from the wicked. So you got to ask yourself, can I really get a prayer through, or am I just talking?
If you can't, you better surround yourself with those that can, so that way you will be able to eventually. Thank you, Possum. Right.
A lot of people can't get a prayer through because they praying to the wrong God. A lot of things, I tell my son all the time, break the curse. Break the curse. Because see, I left college and had to go back and complete it later on. And students, it don't matter if it get hard, stay in there. And your toughest subject, that's probably where your blessing lies. If you having trouble with computers, that's where your blessing gonna come from, the computers. If you having trouble with algebra, that's where your blessing is, in numbers. But let me tell you something, you'll never have a testimony until you learn how to pass the test.
Right.
You gotta, that's the only way you can have a testimony, is you gotta pass the test.
We know you would, Possum. Your story ain't like everybody else's story. He talking about those that got their parents, that actually are there for them and providing for them, and they don't honor them. Your story is not like that. You didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah, Possum, man, we ain't talking about you, sister. You covered.
Yep.
You covered.
Amen.
You gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. But it's a lot of these people, and it's a sad thing. The sad thing is, the ones that don't have it real good, those are the better people.
Better people.
The ones that I've met so many anal intrusions that did not have to live the street life, did not have to live the rebellious life, had a bed that they didn't have to pay for, that they could sleep in, had dinner, breakfast, lunch, bought and ready for them every single day, and they just choose to walk away from that. It's almost like the dumb kids in the suburbs trying to act in the city. Why you sagging your britches and you living in $1 million home? You got maids in your house that take you. You got a nanny, fool.
That wait on you.
Why you want to be hard?
Come on.
You ain't never ate bologna or salami. But you up trying to be hard. What's up? What's up? What's up, homie? I say, boy, these people are not raising their children worth a nickel and a quarter. When you can see all this gray in my face and then walk up to me, what's up, man?
That's a blessing, Possum, baby. Possum said, she said, I finally took the first step to healing and forgave everyone that hurt me and did me wrong.
Amen.
There you go, Possum.
Amen.
That's that you needed that for yourself.
And the enemy's gonna come back.
Yeah.
And try to make you take that back, but don't take your forgiveness back. You on your way to healing.
That's a blessing, Possum.
Clean that slate off. That's for you. Yeah. For real. It's a lot of people. Oh man, if I tell you all about people that don't forgive and they keep that thing, living your bad day. Now, when I say I'm not gonna have a bad day, I had to turn around and forgive some people. Lord Jesus, forgive me. You know, me and my big brother had an outing. And you know what? My God I serve pulled me by my coattail and said, you want somebody to forgive you, but he called you a bitch, and you gonna not forgive him? So I gotta tell my brother, say, man, any issue I have with you, I'm dealing with that with God. Because you asked for forgiveness. And I gotta accept that. So big bro, work with your little brother because it's on me. I'm a real one. God is real. You're never too old to learn. It's one thing to preach this thing, but it's another thing to walk this thing. But I'm real enough to say, hey, I let God, that's why I tell people, you got to check me. The God I serve whoop me up every day. That's why I get up so early. The Bible teaches us to be the first partaker of the fruit. So take it, I don't need to dish it out. Is this how I exit?
Yeah, we can exit here, but
yeah. But y'all, life is good, life is short. Do all you can do. And you young people that's out here living your life and struggling, all you first year college students, good job, man. Make sure you don't have too much fun this summer, because you need to go back to school. Go ahead and finish your education, because it don't get no easier. It don't get no easier later on. It's harder. It's harder, especially when you got mouths to feed, and oh man, it's harder. It's harder. So congratulations to all the graduates graduating out of high school. Congratulations, and I use that loosely because I think highly of you. All the Ragsdale family channel that got people graduating. Congratulations.
Right, that's true, Pastor.
Congratulations. You've accomplished something, but it's not over.
Riri graduated. Okay.
Who?
Riri.
Who is Riri?
God's children.
Riri, you done graduated. Congratulations, Riri.
She kept that head.
Yeah, people are graduating. And you know what? It's never too late to succeed. It's never too late to succeed. As long as the blood is still warm in your veins, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. I'm encouraging this young couple with me today to do everything together. Fail together. Succeed together. But make sure everything you do it together. For real. Y'all, I'm the same mess up. If you want to know mess up, give me a call. Because a lot of my stuff I ain't going to tell online. Because it ain't online business. But if we get membership where it's just the Ragsdale family, I talk to y'all for real.
We're about to start the membership once we get to.
I talk to y'all for real. But let me tell you something. It ain't never too late. And don't let nobody make you live in your bad day. For real. And you know, it's a lot of people, I tell people, say, you got to break curses. You got to break curses. And the way you break curses is by doing things the right way. The right way. For real. People want to be homeowners. Say, man, when God is in charge, you can be a homeowner, y'all. You can have a beautiful home. And I'm blessed, and I know I'm blessed because the first home I closed on, y'all, I was in student loan default. I didn't have no money. I had kids. Sickle cell was running rampant through my family. I was always at the hospital. But you know what? I went to a real estate place, and they said, we can't do nothing with you. You in default. Your credit score was too low. We can't do nothing with you, but I'm going to show you how God and the favor of God. That lady told me, I know a gentleman that will help you. Here's his number. Matter of fact, let me call him before you go. She called Rocket and she said, here's his number. Rocket is expecting your call. I called this guy named Rocket. He said, I live in Richardson. Come over my house right now. This man don't know me from Adam. He said, here's my address. Come to my house right now. I live across the street from Richardson Square Mall. House. I went to his house. And let me tell you something. I walked in and I had my children and stuff. My ex-wife was with me. We were bringing in baby seats and all that. And he just looked at us. And he looked at our paperwork. He said, oof, this is bad. And then he said, are you a praying man? I said, yes, sir, I am. He said, I figured you was. He said, well, if you pray, I'll work. And we'll leave the rest in God's hands. He said, you will not get approved for no home. He said, but we're going to go find us a hungry seller. We're going to go find a hungry seller. So, you know, a couple of months went by. I didn't hear from him. And he said, I see your family. You don't want your family raised up in bad neighborhoods. You want to raise these kids up in a nice, clean, prestigious neighborhood, don't you? I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, that's what we gonna find. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm really like, man, we ain't ready to get nothing. Ain't nobody gonna help us. We stuck in this condo, buying this condo that we done outgrew 2 years ago. I just, you know, I was downtrodden, but I stayed in the fight. Finally, he called me. He said, meet me at 805 Brookshire. I found a hungry seller. So we walked in the house, and by then, y'all, I'm back in church. Remember, I told y'all people go astray, but raise them up in the way they should go. And when it got tough, I knew where to go. I knew to go back to God. So what I did was I was back in church, and my pastor had already showed us how to anoint the house. So when we got to the house, we both looked at each other and said, we can't afford this home. That's how the devil make you feel. Like you ain't worthy of having nothing nice. But then I remember what the pastor said. I said, yeah, we are. And she said, yeah, you always tell me believe in God. So where the holy oil at? We got the holy oil. We went in there and just anointed that house. And that man said, just take a look around the house and around the yard and stuff. And we just looked around, y'all. We just looked around. So he said, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. So he called me. I said, Rocket, I thought you said a woman was a hungry seller and wanted to meet us. He said, she did meet you. I'm like, we didn't see nobody. She saw y'all. That woman sat in my later on that was called my entertainment room. She sat in there and watched us. Watched us move around. Didn't say a word. Didn't make herself sing. She just watched us. And she said, you know what? I'm taking $200,000 off of the house. And it needs foundation work. I'm paying for that before they move in. And I want them to have this house. Glory be to God. It wasn't because of me. He said, if you have faith of a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain to move, and it's got to be removed. But see, we wasn't power struggling. That little girl, she didn't pull my hoe card. Yes, I said hoe. Pastor Razdell just said hoe. She didn't pull my hoe card. She pulled my manhood card. She said, you told us to pray and have faith. I couldn't fuss her. I had to say, hey, I got to live up to it. And when I lined up, oh, glory be to God. That lady, y'all, I called my daddy. Oh, I was so happy. I said, Daddy, I done saved up $5,000 and I closed on my first house. I said, Daddy, guess how much I spent on closing? He said, how much money did you spend? I said, about $53 for the keys. And I've been saying, I thought I was getting, y'all, I used that $5,000 to go get me some Haverty's furniture. Huh? I'm telling y'all about God. If you have faith and stop power struggling and get out of yourself and relinquish this thing to God, He will bless. Get over yourself. You don't have nothing because you have a nothing mentality. You got to change your mentality, change your mannerism, change the way you maneuver, because you can't put old wine in new wine in old wine skin. You got to change on the inside. We got to work on change. Y'all know I talked about change all week long. Gotta do it.
Possum said her nephew graduated high school and he wants to go to the Navy.
Praise the Lord. Go to the Navy. Just don't go to war. Praise the Lord. Tell nephew to be praying, stay prayed up, and put God first. Because we living in a nasty world, but tell him to choose one of them fields where he ain't got to be in nobody's war and get that education. I tell anybody, if you 18 or whatever, I go ahead and give y'all, the military ain't for everybody. If I had a chance to do it over, I'd have went and did me a career in the military. Because I could tell y'all about that too. Because all of us was good in school, except my oldest brother, Charles Jr. He didn't do too well in school. Not because he couldn't, because he just didn't apply himself. He wasn't interested in books. But because my daddy, oh, glory be to God. See, my mama didn't sit up and question my daddy's authority. She knew she was a woman. And she chose this man to marry. So if he was good enough to marry, why come he ain't good enough to obey? So when my daddy said, boy, you can't stay in this house with no job, no nothing, you got to go. He went straight to the military, y'all. And he'll tell y'all that was the best decision that he made. Yeah, he made the decision, but he got pushed by his daddy to the military. And he came out on top. My mama, I remember seeing my mama cry in the kitchen. And you know what? I could tell my daddy didn't like that, because I could tell when mama cried, that got next, that hit daddy's soft spot. He didn't like that. But he would act like he was ignoring that. And I remember hearing him when Charles Jr. went back that last time to Germany, and mama was just crying. Daddy said, Mert, it ain't gonna kill him. He's becoming a man. You gonna be all right. He gonna be all right. And he's all right. She chose this man to obey. I don't know about these sisters. Y'all choose to go with these dummies. And y'all follow them 5 and 6, 7, 8 years, have kids with them, and they dumb. I'ma just give them a chance. That benefit of the doubt. I know my daddy didn't like seeing my mama cry, but she didn't question his authority. She said, hey, if your daddy's saying go, you need to go. She didn't say, let me tell y'all something. If you got a real man, take your fake one off, ladies, and set it down and leave it alone. You no longer need your dildo. You don't have to pretend. You could go ahead and be a woman. Because God created man and woman. Decisions got to be made. A lot of times, men, people ain't going to like the decision. But if you know your decision is creating something better in the future, you better stick with your guns. You better stand on that.
It'll benefit him, Possum.
It will. But he got to stay in it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I would advise him to make a career.
Yeah, he's 17 now. He do 20
Because,
years.
hey, my big bro, he got college degrees. He didn't like school. But as he matured into a man, he said, I want to go to school. He went to school. Didn't nobody have to coach him through it. He got it because he wanted it. See, this is a want-to walk. And that military gave him the discipline. Gave him the discipline that my dad, oh my God, men, get out of your pride. A lot of us are so prideful because we feel, oh, I told you and you went against me. Well, they do that sometimes. But when you with God, sometimes God will send somebody from the outside to bless your child. When you become a child of God, it'll be people from everywhere, Foss Possum, that will take care of your nephew. If he can't make it home, God will give him a home away from home. He'll send people in his life. That's what God does. He will supply your every need according to his riches and glory. People think, oh, my mama, my dad. No, God is everything. God is everything. God is all we all really need. For real. But most of us don't see that because we've been raised by selfish people and people that want to feel important and think they know everything. And think about it. If you know everything and anything, what good is God? If you got all the answers, you'll never go pray to God. But hey, y'all, I've been on here a whole hour running my mouth, talking to y'all. Get these 1,000 subscribers. I got something special for the last 5. When we get to 995, them last 5, y'all better come on with it.
Y'all gotta let us know though that y'all
gotta let us know which your name and all that. And hey, Miss Erica. I met Miss Erica at the car wash today. Thank you for subscribing. Tell your husband I look forward to fellowshipping with him and talking about mental health of men. And we'll be getting a cash out because we want to do some stuff great in our area for the needy. So big ups to everybody. And like I always say, if they stand beside you, respect them. If they stand behind you, protect them. If they stand opposite of you, put those people. Now, leave them in the hands of the Lord. Give it to God and leave it there. They'll be all right. God bless. I speak nothing but perfect health, spiritually, mentally, and monumentally in everybody's life on this weekend. God bless. Deuces.
I know we can't wait either, Possum. When we head that way, we'll let you know. She said she can't wait for us to come visit. Give us some good Mississippi cooking.